Hello students, good evening. Welcome to the daily quiz for today. Before we dive into the questions, we have few interesting announcements for you. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. we have the International Relations This Week session by Chetan sir. Tune in at 8 p.m. to watch the session live on our YouTube channel. You can set a reminder by clicking on the link given in the description box. There is more exciting news. BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS is now on Telegram channel. If you wish to receive the updates on all our initiatives and current affair updates, join the channel. You can scan this QR code or click on the link given in the description box. Now, without much delay, let's go into the first question. The question reads as, the 38th parallel that has been in news recently is, and you have four options given below, which is Iran and Iraq, USA and Canada, South and North Vietnam, South and North Korea. Now, let's just try to reach to what the context of this question was. Very recently, there were incursions from both the North Korean side and the South Korean side between each other. And you can see over here, there is a line that is mentioned as 38th parallel. So now what is the relevance of this 38th parallel? You can see that the parallel word meaning you have on the earth several latitudes which we call as parallels. And here they are asking the 38th parallel. So look at all the options. There's an easy way to eliminate this. You have Iran and Iraq, USA and Canada. If you had to have the 38th parallel, you have a rough estimation of how far it would be from the equator. So consider that and you will see that USA and Canada are going to be way above that. In reality, this is at the 49th parallel. So you can eliminate USA and Canada. Then you have Iran and Iraq. And you know very well Iran and Iraq are somewhere close by to the Indian area which is there. Thereby it wouldn't be as far or as high as the 38th parallel. You can eliminate Iran and Iraq. And then you have North and South Vietnam and North and South Korea. Out of this, North and South Korea is the answer. Now here, I have a small task for you. I want you to find out what is the parallel that separates South and North Vietnam. Let me know in the comments below. So here, for the answer for the first question, it's South and North Korea. Now, moving on to the second question. Consider the following statements with regard to the SVAMITVA scheme. It is operated by the Department of Science and Technology. It uses drones to map the land in rural areas. It seems like a very simple question, but then what is the context of it? Very recently, our Prime Minister has addressed the United Nations World Geospatial International Congress, where he mentioned that India has been doing some schemes related to the geospatial technology. What is geospatial? It primarily relates to the different areas of mapping that happens on the world areas which are there. So now with this information, when you look into this question, the second statement could very well be true. It uses drones to map the land in rural areas. The first statement is the twist. Ideally, this is operated by the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. We might be confused thinking that yes, drones are used, so maybe it could be S&T department. But no, this is by the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and this is the twist in this question. So here, the answer to this question as to which of these statements are true is two only. Only the second statement is right. Third question is, Manesar Anti 2022 is hosted under the aegis of, and four organizations are given. There is UN, there is SCO, there is a BRICS and G20. This question has been asked because very recently it was said that there is a meeting of several countries going on where they are discussing something called as the different anti-terror exercises that could be done. And this is called as the Joint Anti-Terror Exercise. And it is being done under the ambit of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, even if you did not know this information, there is a way to eliminate and get your answer over here. Look at all the options. Here you have something related to anti-terror, which means that this has to be done in that perspective of it is related to anti-terror. The four organizations given over here, G20 clearly focuses on economic and social activities, and though they are bothered about anti-terrorist activities, it is not a prime mandate of G20. You can eliminate G20 because of that. Then you have UN, SEO and BRICS. United Nations has a lot of countries that form as its members, and it is going to be practically difficult to have such a huge anti-terror exercise where all of these countries cooperate. Besides, we have never heard of any large-scale anti-terror exercises being conducted by United Nations. You can eliminate this. Then coming to SEO and BRICS. Here is where the news would be helpful for you. You can see that the news says Pakistan has been invited to the closing ceremony of this anti-terror 2022. You know that BRICS has 5 major countries and Pakistan is not one of them. You can eliminate BRICS, thus leaving us with the option Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, moving on to the fourth question. Consider the following statements regarding the Sustainable Mountain Development Summit. The summit is organized by WWF, that is your World Wildlife Fund. Carbon neutral Ladakh is an objective of this summit. Over 20 mountain states of India attended the summit. Which of the following statements are true? In this context, you have to know that there is a meeting called as the Sustainable Mountain Development Summit, and they are meeting for the 11th time. It is their 11th meeting which is happening. Now, what you have to otherwise know over here is this is a very India-specific summit. It does not have so much of global partnership, and you can see over here it is not organized by WWF. It is organized by the Indian Mountain Initiative. And this is the catch over here. Indian Mountain Initiative is basically an NGO that takes care of the preservation of the mountain areas in India. So naturally, if that is the case, you can see the carbon neutral Ladakh can be an objective of the summit, and this statement is correct. Coming to the third statement where you can use your common sense and maybe solve this. Over 20 mountain states of India attended the summit. This is very unlikely because we know that in India, the areas that has large mountains are mostly your 10 states which are there. Thereby, you can say the first statement and the third statement are wrong, leaving us with the answer C, 2 only. Now, moving on to the previous year question. This question is interesting because the previous year question was asked in 2020 based on the 2018 National Policy on Biofuels. And the reason I had chosen this question specifically was because very recently in 2022 there has been an amendment to the National Policy on Biofuels, thereby making it important for both your prelims of this year and the next year. Now the question says, according to the India's National Policy on Biofuels, which of the following can be used as raw materials for the production of biofuels? Cassava, damaged wheat grains, groundnut seeds, horse gram, rotten potatoes and sugar beet. And this is where the twist is. The National Policy on Biofuels state that you can use damaged food grains which are there. You can use the stale and the rotten goods which are there. You can even use sugar beet for the production of bioethanol. So all this is fixed. Cassava again is a type of root vegetable which is there that can be used for the production of biofuel. Here the twist is the fact that groundnuts, which is an edible oil seed, is not included in the policy. Horse gram, which is a legume and it is actually consumed as a food, is also not included in the policy. So the answer to this question is 1, 2, 5 and 6 only. This question is tricky for this reason. Now finally, as we come to the end of the session, I have a data point to share with you. Very often when we write your S&T answers, we do not have enough data in the mains answers that we write. And here is something that will aid you. The space economy in India may touch almost 13 billion by 2025, thereby contributing a heavy toll onto the GDP of the country. This is something that you can start off your answers whenever the relevance of space technology is asked in India. With that, we come to the end of the daily quiz. Thank you and have a nice day.